Okay, so, um, has anybody ever asked themselves how well would they do or how well a community would do against a serial killer? You know, especially when you know you're being hunted by one. Well, actually, I'm being hunted by two, but I'll explain that. Um, Actually, the answer is surprisingly poor. Um, the best examples are um, John Wayne Gacy, who was well liked by the community, Ariel Castro, who not only killed girls but kidnapped them for extreme periods of time. Um, or I, um, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He was in Ted Bundy. Um, he would actually often wear his arm in a cast or sling to um, get women to get women to feel sorry for him. But the ultimate proof is Richard Acalia, who was, while he was an active serial killer, he actually was on the dating show, and he was the guy the woman picked. Although current claims are that she didn't go on a date with him because she felt he was a little creepy, but um, that's to make things, but I'm not, you can't be sure of that because, you know, it was over, she said that over 30 years after the dating game, after that show aired. So, and I understand people want to think that they do better against these type of people than they actually would, but one of the common traits among serial killers is charm. Um, but otherwise, you're dealing with people of average to below average intelligence. Um, but the thing about those four in particular is they generally targeted people that would be missed. Whereas, I say this because I live in Milwaukee, Jeffrey Dahmer and one of the most notorious, Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Well, the thing is, Jeffrey Dahmer targeted homeless men and young boys that were pimped out by their parents because they were easy targets, and with the homeless, the general thing is nobody will miss them, or very few would miss them. Gary Ridgway, he targeted prostitutes, and a lot of serial killers do. And the thing about prostitutes is, for the most part, they're using it to feed a drug they're doing it to feed a drug habit, and nobody's going, and not many people miss them. Now, in areas where prostitution is legal, it kind of takes on a different scope, because they can be because they're generally protected. They have ways of dealing with protection. Like a good example is in Amsterdam, in the booths. There's 3 hidden buzzers that a woman could hit, one of 3 of them, and you'd have about 10 cops storm the room in under a minute. So that's generally what they do in Nevada brothels. Again, there's just too much of a paper trail. So that's why in areas where prostitution is illegal, you're actually making it more dangerous for the prostitute. Now, the reason I think why I'm being hunted by a pair of serial killers that are working together are that the one that I came across was the unwilling subservient to the other. Basically, again, because from what I understand, not a lot of people like him. And everybody thinks he's a bit strange, and the thing is, most serial killers, for the most part, behave in an unnoticeable manner. You're not they don't advertise, they don't harass their victim. They're just if they're hunting someone, they're just going to look for the kill, like one of the things is, outside the gay community of Milwaukee, Jeffrey Dahmer, and I know this because a lot of parents of the kids I went to school with worked at the Ambrosia Chocolates factory here, just said he was the quiet type. Within the gay community, he was known for being rather violent among people he would get laid with and whatnot. So they would it got to a point where the Milwaukee gay bars were actually starting to refuse service to him. So there was some stuff going on within that community. That's also so that's why I feel the way I do about the guy, because he's just not the silent type, the reason why I think he's gay or bisexual, with a strong leaning towards men is um, people who engage in acts of compulsion, like stalking, and then stalking, domestic violence, child abuse, child, child molestation, pedophilia, all that kind of stuff. They don't care about the gender of their victim. Usually, when they're dealing with post-pubescent people, then they are concerned about the gender of their victims, and they're not going to go outside their sexual orientation, because a lot of the type of murder is going to include some sort of torture, some sort of sexual torture as well. And there are some of the truly psychopathic people. They'll rape outside their sexuality, but that's generally because they want to show those are the really, really bad sexual predators. So that's what I'm up against right now. Also, I do as usual need to remind people that I do need to get some money together for medical expense, to get some surgeries that I've needed, because basically in February of last year, I took a really, really bad beating. I had a lot of dental injuries and a lot of other injuries that aren't covered, that because they can be handled a different way, they're not covered by the surgery that would make things a lot better are generally not covered by my insurance. But yeah, it's when this happens, when you find out about something like this, it's hard to get it out of your head. I mean, even with I'm prescribed gabapentin and clonazepam, and that won't get it out of your head. If that's the case, what would? All right, bye.